Welcome to the Rich in Purpose Transform Childhood Trauma Summit. Today we have Lisa Barron with us. She's a former interior designer, current Napoleon Hill Institute coach, and our COO. Welcome, Lisa.
Thanks, Jamie. I'm happy to be here today. I'm happy to be here. It's our last day of the summit, and I thought maybe I should put myself out there and let everyone know that I'm a part of this as well. So thanks for having me. And I also wanted to get, you've been interviewing all the people these last 2 weeks, so I thought it would be nice if our audience got to know you a little bit. So I thought maybe I could ask you a few questions as well as you maybe asking me a few. And so let's, see how that goes.
All right, well, that sounds fun. I just want to let the audience know a little bit that I tend to babble. She's put a 60-second limit on me. So we have some things over here that if you see me look, I just want to make sure I'm on track.
We need a buzzer.
No, but we are eager to show rich in purpose. We're sponsoring the summit, but no, but people are probably saying, well, who's rich in purpose? So we just kind of want to share that information with you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so Jamie is the founder of Rich in Purpose. He's the heart and soul of it. It was his conception. He had this purpose, this calling to put this all together, and he found a mastermind of people to help him, which I'm one of them, and we've got a few other excellent professionals who are involved. So, Jamie, maybe you could just tell a little bit of how it all started. How did Rich and Purpose come to you?
Well, it was just I just had something on my heart from God that says, I want you to help people who have experienced childhood trauma and addictions. And I was trying to figure out what coaching what coaching business line I should go into, and so that just helps me do it. But then all of a sudden, Lisa, I'm like, I don't really know what that is. So I had to go look up it, and then all of a sudden I realized that pretty much every day of my life when I was a kid was trauma. So I definitely am conditioned or know what to do when I learned about the trauma. And so many of the symptoms I had myself, the people pleasing, the overworking, all of that stuff, I just didn't realize that it was something bad. So I've been on the I have this rich in purpose, and the main reason that I really started it was because yes, we can learn, we can grow, but there have been so many times in my life, Lisa, where I was so lonely, and I just wanted if I had one person to call or one group to go to, and they loved me and encouraged me, right? That would be something, but I just didn't. So I felt that if I can create this community, or when we do create the community, if it can be a love and encouragement community, and then also it was a revelation to do the Napoleon Hill principles, to teach, to put be the foundation of the Rich and Purpose method. So that's
Mhm.
what really caused me to be here today. Is I don't want
Yeah.
anyone to ever have to go through what I went through as far as loneliness. And if you go through any of I mean, I have read thousands of self-development books and to had coaches and everything. And it was just, I felt one day when I was listening to actually somebody online, Paul Martinelli, and he was teaching the Think and Grow Rich principles, just as sure as it was to help someone with childhood trauma. It was this is the foundation of what we were supposed to teach. So that's why
Yeah.
we're here. We're in Napoleon Hill, and we're here to make people feel loved and encouraged and grow at their own pace.
Yeah, because I find that you didn't really realize that you had childhood trauma and that you were experiencing symptoms of it because you just thought this is how my life is. You didn't think that there was anything of it other than this is how it is and it's not going to be another way. And I think a lot of people are stuck that way. They don't really realize that something way back is holding them back the great future they want to have now, right? They want to start changing. They want to make a better life for themselves. They want to, maybe go up the ladder in their work or start a new business or have a better relationship, or just have more confidence, get out of isolation. So, Rich in Purpose is using the principles of Napoleon Hill. All of the members of the Rich in Purpose team are in the Napoleon Hill Institute. So we've learned these proven principles of how to make your way to a better life. But we want to teach these through a trauma lens because we know that people who've had trauma have a different way of perceiving things and we need to approach differently. So that's something we've taken into consideration, and also that Rich in Purpose is not therapy. We're not here to heal you. One of the members of our team is a therapist, but it's not about therapy. It's about coaching and helping and encouraging you and giving you support, putting you into a mastermind where other people will be there to help you, and, community, book clubs, supporting loving environment, and Rich in Purpose, you've based it on 3 pillars, which we'll get to later. So I think that tells a little bit about what it is. And also, I'd like to, if you wouldn't mind, sharing a little bit about your traumatic childhood, what you went through, and how you progressed through life, and how those traumatic moments have held you back from growing and caused you to isolate yourself.
All right. Well, my mother had me when she was 15 and my sister when she was 16. We're only 11 months apart. And so we started this journey growing up with a kid already. And, and during that time, she would decide, we stayed with my grandparents most of our early childhood. And my mother would come and go. She would meet someone and leave and then come
Well,
back.
she was a teenager
She was a
herself, right?
teenager herself. Yeah. And, she wanted to have fun as well. Right. So we just happened to be one of those obstacles, I think, in her life. And one of the first memories I have was my real father beating up my mother. I don't know, I don't couldn't have been more than two, but I just remembered that. And then her second husband, we had a volatile childhood during that time because they would party every weekend, come home, get into an argument. And even we had like a 1 bedroom little apartment, and we could see them fighting right at the end of our bed, right? And it would keep us awake. And, even going to school was not, you know, I didn't really learn a lot in school at the time. I just was going there and I'd smoke pot, go to the 6 classes, and then leave at 9.
Yeah, you went, I guess, because you had to, and there wasn't anyone asking about your grades or asking if you needed help with homework or things like that, because your mother was busy basically with her own life, doing her own thing, and not spending her time on you and with you.
Yeah, well, when I was 15, we ran the party house. And we lived in a trailer. We ran the party house at a little town called Dexter. I mean, every night we would have 10, 15 people over there just drinking and partying. And so, yes, I wasn't studying.
No.
And like so many times, I mean, I feel blessed because I should either be dead or in jail, right? Because I didn't go through school and I didn't have people that really cared about me.
But you did go to university. How did that come about?
I for some reason I just wanted to go. Well, actually, I thought I was going to probably be a construction worker for the rest of my life because that's as high as I could think at the time.
Yeah.
But my stepfather his brother ran a construction company in Dexter, so I was going to move from Michigan back to Dexter. And
Mm.
my mother came down and actually talked to his brother and said, "Can you give Jamie a job?" But then I only lasted like 3 months. I really couldn't do the job, and he
Yeah.
let me go. And then I got into another company, and I just thought this can't be what I'm going to be doing all my life. So I did enroll in the university and ended up going there 5 years, got 2 majors and a minor.
Well, that's good. Yeah, so you did it. You accomplished something. So that should have helped with your self-esteem. But I know that when you got out of college, you didn't go into the field you had just studied. You ended up in the restaurant business and worked your way up in that business.
Yeah, well, when I first got out for almost 2 years, I just waited tables again. And then because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I had a marketing and economics degree, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. So I just and then I had a manager where I was waiting tables, had a friend who was general manager at one of the nicest German restaurants in St. Louis, and I got a job there. And but it was a matter of really just keeping on going of that every day, working, 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 working really hard. And because a lot of people with childhood trauma, right, we end up in sales, restaurant jobs, and those types of things that keep us on a constant, really survival type of a mode. And so, yeah, I became a restaurant manager, and I really liked it. But I just ended up getting in after a while. I ended up getting in sales and got into sales, and then I picked up a Zig Ziglar book because I started getting into something other than the restaurant business. And I read that book and I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that there was a life like that, right? You compare to the book, compared to the life that I'd led, and I'm like, it was like,
Yeah,
wow. So I became very passionate about self-development and growing in that area. And so here now, I'm the founder of the Rich and Purpose and have a nice mastermind helping me. And we're here to
good.
change. We're here to help people transform lives because you can always turn your pain into purpose.
That's right. A lot of people have a purpose and a desire for that burning inside, but they don't know how to get it, right? They don't know how to take steps to get there, and they don't have the confidence. They don't have support. If they tell their family, I have this idea about doing this. The family says, you can't do that. That's not a good idea. You're crazy. That'll never happen. And then they just go, oh, okay. And they carry on in their same routine, their same hamster wheel, and nothing ever changes. So, we know the way that you can do that through Napoleon Hill principles. And you, with the team, have made this program rich in purpose with three pillars, combining the trauma lens with Napoleon Hill and the most important things for people who have experienced trauma, the things that they need. And so those are the three pillars. Would you mind, telling us the three pillars briefly?
And no, I like that because what we want when we become trauma, coming out of the trauma, we want to feel safe and we want to feel secure.
Yeah,
And a lot of us have not a good relationship with money.
yeah,
We get to certain levels and we think, I didn't ask for the raise, so I'm just going to go work at a whole new business. And we
yeah,
and we just stay in that same wheel. But if you can first feel safe and secure in what you're doing, learn to have the good relationship with money, learn to not always just be struggling and overworking, people pleasing. It can be a good first step. And then
mm,
when you get to the second step, right, it becomes getting a new identity and then getting confidence because, like, you could walk up behind me when I was in full swing and go boo and because, I didn't really have the confidence. Plus, the childhood trauma will make you jumpy anyway. But
yeah,
I didn't have confidence to do anything. Even like when I got into sales, I never thought about going to a sales job where they would pay me. It was 100% commission, right? If you do this, right? If you people please, if you do this, you become good. If you do this, you'll get paid. And
right.
so I got into just 100% commission sales, and then I decided that I wanted to do my own business and and it was through the Zig Ziglar See You at the Top book that I just kept going. It took me 4 months to get my first yes. So, most people tell you just give up, right?
Mm,
If you had your friends and family and you hadn't got one sale in 4 months, this probably is not a good idea. But if you have confidence in what you're trying to do, and you have that encouragement, which I got from books, not really from
Mhm.
people, but from books.
Yeah.
Um, then you just keep going to make it so that, because the one thing, Lisa, we know that there's never been one successful person that made it in 2 months or 3 months or made it on their first try. Typically,
Mm. Yes.
you're not failing, you're just finding out what isn't working, and you add that in and you move forward and you move forward, because persistence makes failure go away, right? At some point, I mean, even this Rich in Purpose, 3 years it took me to get this off the ground. And how many people told me, Jamie, forget it, forget it. Well, as you know, right, I left the church I was in and got all new friends. I was determined that this was my purpose. So I just started life all over, really, at 62 years old. And but I'm so fortunate that I did and kept persistent, because now I have a great community. I'm living the life that I could only dream of, but it's because I went through the traumas when I was young, and I didn't give up on this job. And now I get to do my really God's calling in my life, which is to help people who've experienced it and give them the principles and the love and the encouragement to be as successful as they want to be.
Hmm. Yeah, because I think a lot of people who've suffered from childhood trauma when they were a child, they weren't loved and they were told that they're not worthy, they're not good for anything, they're never gonna succeed, they're they're good for nothing, they're not smart, they're stupid. They've heard from someone like their parent or someone who they love and respect, they've heard that they're not good enough. And as a child, you believe that because you don't know what's right or wrong. You believe what you were told and you believe it from the people who lead you. So that all goes into you and controls how you behave. So yeah.
And I just want to add in one thing, is that when you have friends, right, you think that they want the best for you, but they don't. They really want you to stay where you are so that you can remain friends. Because if you change, then they have to change, or you just don't become friends. So they
That,
strive to keep you at the same place that you are. And you have to be the one that says, hey, I'm going to do better things, and I will find people who will support me. And that's really, again, why we started the Rich in Purpose. So that's the community you can go to and feel loved and encouraged, learn the principles that will take you to the next level. And if once you say, oh, I've been doing this for 6 months and I haven't made it yet, that's okay. You've learned. You don't start over at 6 months, right? You have 6 months experience, and now you're just learning into take a new step.
mhm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you don't fail, you learn, right?
Exactly.
Failure is a lesson. It's not defeat. It's just a lesson. Go a different direction, do it a different way. That's all that means. It doesn't mean it's over. If you look at a lot of the most successful people, in our current times, all of them had severe failures, bankrupt, lost everything, lost millions, and had to build it all up again. Like they've persisted and they've learned from their mistakes. And your journey is like climbing up a ladder, right? It's one rung at a time, and maybe once in a while one breaks, but if you've got your hands above you, you won't fall down. So, think of it that way. And we're here to help you hang on.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I get to the third pillar, that which is, we got off track a little bit there, but it is building a community and belonging and feeling loved within your community, and being a part of something that that whatever happens, you're not going to say, "Oh my gosh," right? Why, I don't know why you did that, right? I mean, how many times you go tell people, "I don't know why you did that." Well, it's
Yeah. No
because
judgment here.
you thought that it was the right thing to do at the time, right? Maybe you need a little bit of alteration to go with it, but having the community really, and so many of, like me, I went to isolation for 10 years because I didn't. I didn't want to drink anymore. I didn't want to do all the drugs anymore. And if I went out, I didn't have any good friends. I didn't make any new friends for a while, but God will keep you there. And I always was learning though. I was always preparing for eventually this particular time.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And so the community we're building is just a welcoming place, an encouraging place, no judgment. We're here to help you get up that ladder. That's all. And we're just here for you. That's it.
And you go up the ladder at your pace, right?
That's
So
right.
many times you get coaches and you read the self development books, and it's just like, okay, go do it. And if I mean, I've had coaches that said, "You didn't do that," and you would get scolded because,
Hmm.
but what sometimes we don't realize is that, or they don't realize, I realize that you don't have the emotional stability to just do things, right? Sometimes you need to say, okay, I got to win there. And that's the one thing that we believe in is you can have a little win. Well, let's celebrate instead
That's
of,
right.
all of a sudden going, well, that's all you did? That's all you did today? No, let's celebrate that and give you
Mhm.
and build our confidence up so that the next win, you're going to get a celebration. And the next win, you're going to get a celebration, which you didn't usually when you were going through the childhood trauma. So it
Mhm.
becomes an atmosphere of winning and success. And
Mhm.
and you can say, oh, maybe sometimes it wouldn't be something that you would go and say it was a win to other people, but in this community, you can say it was a win, and we'll all celebrate.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, we have the three pillars and we just want to help people um, advance themselves, and we're doing it with thinking about the trauma that they've been through and knowing that what that does to your body, your nervous system, what it does to your brain, to your subconscious mind. All of us in our mastermind have studied these different things. So we all have our expertise in these areas. And so we're here to help our clients. That's what we want to do. And yeah, we want to help Jamie. He needed a mastermind to get things together, to do this, to make Rich and Purpose become real. And he found the right people who could help him. And I've heard you say, Jamie, you've done as way much more in your life in the last few months as ever before because you had the right people around you.
Well, Lisa, the mastermind is the key. That I mean, and literally, 3 years, I barely got anything going. In the last 9 months, here we are, right? And
Yeah.
we're launching it. We're doing this summit, and we've written Rich in Purpose. We have communities that can come and do book studies. If you just want to come and say, I just want to check it out, every day we're going to have somebody there just learning something and being there available. So it is an active community where you can come and go at your pace. And if you don't want to make an investment at this minute, that's okay because
Oh, that's fine.
you're gonna be able to be learning something that we're going to be studying at that particular moment, probably something with Napoleonic principles, since we're kind of based on that.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like going doing anything else, right, just absorb that because sometimes, Lisa, it's that one thought. You know, you might hear one thing that can transform your life. And
Yeah.
if you're reading the same things or you watch just at home watching TV, you're probably not going to get that one thing, right? That's going to
Mhm.
set you to the next level. But just take some time and come and look, read something or watch some of the videos that we produce that you learn those positive things and your confidence
Mhm.
grows and your integrity grows and everything grows and all of a sudden you hear that one thing and then you have somebody that gives you a high five and you celebrate it and now you're off to the journey, you're off to the races.
Right. And, we're also going to have a spiritual side to this as well. Not really to do with any religion. or God, but spirituality, awareness, um, having having awareness of what's going around you, awareness of what's within yourself. And we've got a couple of our people from our mastermind who are going to lead that and help you with that, help you become aware, talking about Neville Goddard's principles and Napoleon Hill. Um, and that's a place where you can talk, right? You can express yourself there. It
Well, I mean, the one
uh,
thing I've been in the corporate church, we'll say, for a long time. And what you realize sometimes, Lisa, is that you can get trauma there. I mean, there's a whole thing now from religious trauma because
Mhm.
when you go there, they have a system, right? Because most of them are corporations now, and they
Mhm.
give you a system, and you stay in the system, and you grow, and like everything, right? There's going to be 80 or 90% of the people that do it, and if they get corrected, okay, I won't do that any longer. But it can just keep you again. It's another way to keep you stuck at where you are. And so
Mhm.
what we wanted to do not is yes, I mean I'm a big believer in God, and I believe that I most of my life has been just one big miracle, and especially the last 9 months. I don't. Lisa, do I have 20 minutes to tell them about the last 9 months? No, I'm just joking. But it's it's just been a miracle, right? Once God tells you that it's time, it is time. But our whole spirituality begins with God is not out there, right, trying to see what you're doing wrong. You have our God is within you. The Bible says the kingdom of God is within you. And so you have it with you, and you have a direct line with God. And many of these times, these intuitions that you have, these thoughts, they were there for God, because sometimes you can get these other, oh, I thought that was a great idea, but ideas are not worth anything unless you take action on them.
Right.
And you just you can have one idea after the other, but you know the idea that you have, or the intuition, in the spiritual world, it's done. You had that idea to take action, and if you'll take the action, go through the obstacles to grow, it will manifest itself.
Mhm.
But if you're like, oh my gosh, if I do that, then maybe it's against the principle of the church. And what they're going to tell you is there's a good chance that you're going to burn in hell, right? And you're going to create fear in your life that you don't, it's not, we don't want to put any fear in your life, because sometimes one little bit of fear can be the thing that keeps you down. So again, all positive. You have the power of God inside of you, and you are connected with God. So once you believe that, then the confidence and the power comes to you.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's so wonderful to hear a little of your story and to hear about the three pillars and what we're going to do here in this community. And we ask people if they're interested to join our community, they can go to the Facebook group and join up there. That's where we will be. They can find that easily, and they can drop their email for us, and we'll be sending out materials for them, useful materials, tools, things that they can read, all kinds of things to get them going on their journey. So that's what we're all about.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of, like the saying, show me your five people that you hang around with, and I'll show you where you're going to be in 5 years.
Mhm.
That is that you can change that five people to five people who have, for even if it's us, right? We went through all kinds of failures, but now we're successful, and we can give you those stories. But then once you get into the mastermind, and also, we have, if you do our main purpose, the Rich in Purpose method, we have 16 weeks of one-on-one coaching, and then you get the mastermind. But you can be a part of the community and just join it. You can join a mastermind and really work with 6 to 10 other people that are striving, or not striving, but looking to be successful. And you'll all encourage you, and you'll have a moderator like yourself that that can guide you. So
Hmm.
I just feel that that this is a community that can encourage you and to get you to the place where some you only dream about, instead of getting into a situation where you've been trying it for 3 months, you failed once, just give it up. And if society was like that, well, and sometimes that's why there's only 1%. You get into a society that's like that, and you go back to a job that you don't like, or you are an overachiever, but you haven't figured out that people pleasing and overworking, all those things are patterns that you learn from your childhood. So you
Yeah.
just keep doing them over and over and over. But
Yeah.
we can help you break those patterns. We can help you move forward. But Lisa, the main thing is that you have a community that will love and encourage you, and that is going to be the key, I think, to why people will remain in or come to this community, and then find themselves growing and growing and growing, living the life they've only dreamed about, because they have people that will love them and support them. And then and we have studied what you can take 10 years to learn, we can teach you in 10 months.
Mhm. Yeah, we can help you speed up the process. Mm. Yeah, so we're going to meet again later today for another session, the final session of our summit. We're going to meet and have another talk. So I'm looking forward to that. So thanks, Jamie, for letting me ask you questions and for letting me get introduced to the community. And yeah, I'm excited for later. We're going to talk again. And thanks for coming.
Well, my pleasure, Lisa. And I just want people to know that you are the foundation. I I'm the one that, yes, I had the idea, and I'm gonna be the one letting people know about it and going, but Lisa will be the one that builds the community, because she's not as traumatized as I am. I'm still working on my trauma, so she's gonna get everything running smooth. I can just be out there kind of helping people realize that this opportunity is here. So
Yeah,
I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have you and the team with me, because, like I said, for 2 years, 2.5 years, I only was trying to do it myself, and you saw how far that got.
yeah,
So, with the community that we have now, with the teachers we have now with us, it can just be a great community to be a part of.
yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Jamie. So we'll see you later tonight then.
All right. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.